You know, this has been a crazy start to the weekend with prices falling all across the board when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Of course, Bitcoin right now hovering a little bit above $31,000 and of course, Ethereum below $1,900. So what does this all mean? Are we headed for a crash or a extended bear market? Because things have been going pretty much sideways. So what is the next big move? Are we going up or are we going down? And I'm pretty much certain we might see a bigger crash, but I'll explain coming up. What's up, Crypto Land? Black Crypto here, bringing another cryptocurrency video where I talk about the basics of Bitcoin and everything else cryptocurrency. In terms of cryptocurrencies, how to live off of cryptocurrencies, how to think about it differently and build your generational wealth for the actual future. So right now, I mean, things are moving a little bit sideways when it comes to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a whole. And it probably has you wondering what you should do with your actual cryptocurrencies. Should you sell off your cryptocurrencies? Should you even buy cryptocurrencies right now? I mean, you know, we've seen a big run up over the last several months in terms of a lot of coins, and there's been a lot of hype around different coins, of course, scam coins or shit coins, in terms of course, like SafeMoon. And of course, now we're seeing other different coins that are trying to mimic Dogecoin. But right now, we're trying to figure out, will the price actually go down right now with the price around $31,000? You know, I think if we start to hit down a little bit more, we start hitting around $30,000. I think that's where we're going to have to start showing a little bit of concern. Of course, if we go past $30,000, we're going to probably hit a little bit of a slump. Of course, with Ethereum as well, with it being, you know, right there underneath $1,900. You know, we are expecting Ethereum to be, of course, $2,000 and pretty much going up a little bit more. Of course, if Bitcoin is going down, usually some of the other cryptocurrencies are going up, and we've seen that with some of the other cryptocurrencies, but not a big jump that we would actually expect. So with Bitcoin, are we going to see like a $25,000 Bitcoin? You know, it is possible, but why is it possible? Why are we going to be going down? I think we're going to see another big crash. The only question is, when are we going to see it? Is this the start of the big crash right now? Is it going to happen this week coming up? Or is it going to happen over the next several weeks coming up to the end of the year? You know, I've always said in terms of, I think that Bitcoin is going to finish the year really strong, probably around $75,000 to $100,000. But what does that mean right now? Are we going to just see a straight run up to that price? Or are we going to see probably a big spike and then another crash come down? That really is the question. There's so much things happening right now. And I'm going to probably give you a few things to think about what's happening right now, why I think the price is definitely going to go up. But of course, we have to keep in mind that there is the possibility of manipulation right now, especially around these institutional investors. And I think with that, we may see another crash come up very soon. But I think that there's something behind the scenes that they're doing for a big run up. So you may not want to be that person to sell off all of your cryptocurrencies right now. There's a lot of concerns right now in the market, of course, over the last month or so. One of the big things that you've seen, and you probably said to yourself, that Bitcoin is going to zero, or at least cryptocurrencies are not as you expect. One of the things that you saw, of course, with China, in terms of the miners there, in terms of shutting all of that down. I think that that is one of the reasons why we have seen this price drop, of course, in terms of the hash rate and in terms of the price, in terms of the news out there, in terms of retail investors just looking at the market and saying, you know what, there's something going on, and maybe if China is banning it, maybe this is bad for Bitcoin and I'm going to get out right now. But let me tell you this, and this is what I think about the whole China situation and in terms of mining, for instance. You know what? I think there's something bigger at play when it comes to China. I mean, China is no fool. We do know that China, or the people in China, they're holding and hodling a whole lot of Bitcoin. So I don't think they're really worried about what happens. I think they want the price to drop down even further and people are going to buy a whole lot more. But when it comes to the mining there, you know what? I think this is a bigger play. Of course, we saw with Elon Musk talking about, you know, Bitcoin not being sustainable in terms of energy consumption and things like that. But when it comes to China, one of the biggest things you have to remember when it comes to their mining farms is a lot of those mining farms, or most of them, was ran off of traditional electricity. So I think this play is what's happening with China. I think they're getting rid of all of those mining farms at one time because this is the perfect time and a perfect excuse. And what I think they're going to actually do is convert all of that property, because what happens to all of that property, all of those hundreds of mining farms? What happens to all of those mining farms? I think they're going to convert all of those mining farms to solar mining farms. It's pretty simple for China to do. They're pretty much the forefront when it comes to solar technology. And I think that they're going to actually go ahead and outfit a lot of these mining facilities and make them solar. And then all of a sudden, you're going to start seeing a lot of this mining go back to China in the future. That's pretty much my prediction. I mean, take that with a grain of salt. I mean, when it comes to mining, they're very smart when it comes to that. Of course, we have to go ahead and start distributing this mining resources all over the world. Of course, you don't want to centralize in one place. And I think they know that, and that's one of the reasons why they wanted to make sure, go ahead and start spreading that all over the world. So that's one of the things to keep in mind when it comes to the price going down for right now. You have to also think about that. Is this the price going, I mean, is the price of Bitcoin going down right now and is it going to stay down because it's just going away? Or is there a bigger play coming into the future? So what about all these big institutional players? What are they doing when it comes to cryptocurrency? I mean, we can talk about a whole lot of institutional players in terms of, for instance, like a BlackRock and what they're doing behind the scenes, or what a lot of banking institutions are doing behind the scenes. But I always tell you this in terms of a very simple way to understand this. They're all building tools to get ready to offer to you. So right now, when you see the price going down and the price not shooting up because they're not pouring money into it right now, that's okay. That's because they're doing what they're supposed to do, and you're a person that's supposed to be educated when it comes to cryptocurrencies, and start buying these cryptocurrencies for yourself and get ready for when all of these products start launching. There are so many products that are launching right now, whether it's debit cards, whether it's different reward programs, whether it's just different products when it comes to you interacting with cryptocurrencies itself. So that's one of the things that you have to keep in mind in terms of these big institutional players. What are they doing behind the scenes? Not only that, let's now keep in mind what's happening in terms of cryptocurrency itself and why I think the price of Bitcoin is going to shoot all the way up. Well, right now, the price is pretty much steady right now in terms of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. But in terms of the technology, there's a lot of upgrades happening right now with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So for instance, with Ethereum, they're going to be having an upgrade called the London fork. Now, when it comes to this actual upgrade that's going to be happening with this London, it's going to be happening in August. Now, there's some other upgrades with some major other cryptocurrencies that you also have to keep in mind. So not only that, in terms of El Salvador, not in terms of an upgrade, but also a big update that you have to keep in mind. In El Salvador in September, they're going to make Bitcoin a legal tender. So in September, you may see a big influx of cash coming into cryptocurrencies. So not only that, you have to go to October. Now in October, I believe you have Cardano, which has their smart contracts, and we're hoping that these smart contracts are going to be coming online and people are going to start using them in a major way. And that can be a big catalyst also for cryptocurrencies as a whole. Now, when you go to Bitcoin itself, we have the Taproot and small signature upgrades that's going to be happening as well when it comes to Bitcoin, and that's going to be happening in November. What does this all mean? This all means that there can be a big catalyst for the price to go all the way up. But at the exact same time, if we're having all of these upgrades and things that are happening, the price can probably stay the exact same throughout the end of the year. And then the beginning of the year, in terms of 2022, we can see a big, huge run up. That's my only thought in terms of what's happening right now. But at the same time, we can see all of this run up happen before all of these upgrades. And that's one thing that you also have to consider. So we can see all of these upgrades happening over the next several months, but we can see a big run up by institutional players putting money into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and running the price all the way up to $100,000 or maybe even past $100,000 right before all of these upgrades. And then we're going to see a major crash at the end of the year. So we may definitely end at a high note, whether it's $75,000, because we saw a run up to about $250,000. That might be possible. But we may have to brace ourselves for a big crash to come, whether it's going to be next week or by the end of the year. I think that we're going to be seeing another big crash very soon. The thing is, will we see a run-up before that crash? Or will we see that run-up after that crash? All right, Cryptoland, so there you have it. So right now, this weekend, I mean, things are looking a little bit down right now. But you know what? Rest assured, we know this is cryptocurrencies. I don't think cryptocurrencies is going anywhere, and you probably feel exactly the same way with me. So right now, I've talked about a lot of things that's going to be happening with cryptocurrencies in terms of over the next several months, and that's why I think the price of Bitcoin is going to shoot all the way up, especially with these upgrades and all these institutional players that are building right now when it comes to cryptocurrency. So that means we may see a crash right before a big run-up, or we may see a big run-up and then a huge crash. But you're educated, you know all about cryptocurrencies, and that's why you're on this actual channel. So you know what to do when anything like that happens. You know how to trade in and trade out of cryptocurrencies, how to leverage it with stable coins, for instance. Another big thing that's happening with cryptocurrencies in terms of these CBDCs, in terms of who's going to be the first one to issue it on a mass scale. And these stable coins, who's going to start accepting all of these stable coins, or are we going to just start switching over to stable coins as a universal, cryptocurrency? We do not know. But what we do know right now is that you can get involved with cryptocurrencies right now. Do not wait for the price to run all the way up. Do not wait for the price to shoot all the way down. You can dollar cost average into cryptocurrencies, and that's one of the best ways to definitely invest in cryptocurrencies. Of course, remember, I am not a financial advisor. Do not take this as any kind of financial advice whatsoever. I'm Black Crypto. Thank you for checking out this cryptocurrency video. Leave a comment in the section below. Let me know where you think the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going to go over the next week, or what do you think we're going to end the year in terms of a price for Bitcoin? I'm thinking that we're going to end the year probably around $75,000. That's what I'm thinking. So go ahead and hit that like button. Helps me get these videos recommended out there to everybody. And also hit the subscribe button. Get recommended for new videos that I'm going to be dropping right here on this channel, and as I grow this channel. Guys, I see you in the next video. Peace.